A stablecoin is a token. It's actually worthless. It's only useful if it has acceptance.
The future of stablecoin is to create this kind of directly interconnected infrastructure for value transfer, for payments around the world.
How do you help someone who right now is somewhere and needs money right now? You can't, because most international transfer will take days.
New joiners, we believe in this value of controlling their destiny with security by checking information that is genuine information. So that's, I think, a very powerful tool associated with the payment infrastructure.
The experience is so good. It's almost like as if you would use a normal bank account.
Hello and welcome to the Ledger podcast. Today we'll be talking about how the world of traditional finance, the world of fiat, is connecting to the world of crypto. This interaction is absolutely essential to our ecosystem. It's essential to bringing more use cases to our customers. And we are joined today by Shah Ramezani, who is the CEO and founder of Noah, a new partner within the Ledger Wallet ecosystem, and we'll be talking exactly about that today. So welcome to you, Shah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So first question I have for you is, how did you come up with the idea of Noah, and how does it connect to this topic of connecting fiat, connecting the traditional finance, the payment landscape as we know it, and connecting crypto?
Yeah, so around 4.5 years ago, I wanted to start a company, and for me, it was very clear that I wanted something that has a real big impact, and there was really like two frontier technologies at that time. It was either AI or crypto. I really fell in love with crypto as a concept. Of course, it's a technology, but I think it's mostly a social idea, that we can have assets by, verifying cryptographically, and we don't need to rely on institutions. So I really fell in love with that idea. But at the time, it was quite disappointing because most of crypto was, I would say, the use case was gambling. I think most of the exchanges or a lot of the tokens or a lot of the things that were generating revenue or actually working, you could see that a lot of it was based on fortune and people hoping something goes up. Of course, there were assets like Bitcoin that were real, and I think that's where also a big use case is where it's becoming a gold alternative, an inflation hedge. I found there was a limited use case that was doing real world stuff. So my conviction wasn't that it's only going to be gambling. I knew there will be, the same way the internet started, there was a lot of weird use cases at first, but eventually the technology permeated into everyday life. So it became, now we're doing the podcast over the internet. We work over the internet. We communicate over the internet. Our social media is over the internet. Everything happens, but it didn't happen all at once. It happens in sequences. So my first question was, what is the most important sequence to happen for a crypto to find real world adoption and start to be part of everyday life? And I really became very fascinated that it's going to be payments, because, once you understood how banking works, you realized, wow, this is a much more seamless way of moving money across borders. And we started basically, and I think in the first few years, our conviction was it might be on the Lightning Network and using Bitcoin, but then we realized that might take longer time, or because because the one is you make a bet that Bitcoin is going to be the global denominated currency. Also, that crypto will be the main payment layer. I found that, given that I'm like a first-time entrepreneur, I don't want to make too big bets. So after 1 or 2 years, we realized that And I think it was really during the down market, when the FTX happened, everything went back down. I think you remember, Jean-François, it was a bit of a depressing time where everything that seemed to be a good idea 4 months ago was a terrible idea at the time. Nothing was working. But one thing was growing. That was the AUM of stablecoins. And we started to look under the hood, and we realized people are not getting into stablecoins because they like it or they have to go to an exchange to buy crypto. They're getting into it because it helps them move money. And that's what's really the original inception where we started digging in more. And that was around, I would say, 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, where we said, this is it. This is the first real world use case that I found around crypto.
So that's, I think there's a lot of things in what you say, and trying to rephrase it, I think there is indeed this stage in almost every early tech where there's a speculation on the future of this technology, but the use case is not very clear immediately. And yes, I do remember the beginning of tech and internet because I had the chance to work there back then.
Yeah.
And indeed, people were speculating on the future. They were buying shares of internet companies, but at home they had a 56K modem that was hardly coping with what they needed to do, and there was hardly any digital camera and no smartphones. So I think we are probably a little bit more advanced already, I think, in this stage regarding crypto and regarding what it can bring to this world. But the question of enabling real-life use cases, it remains very important. And thinking about the use case that you're powering today, thinking also about this project that we have together with the Ledger Wallet, can you describe a little bit more like what is the problem that it is solving?
Yeah. So I would say stablecoin has been around, but the stablecoin, imagine I give someone a credit card, and technically a credit card is a plastic. A stablecoin is a token. It's actually worthless. It's only useful if it has acceptance. So MasterCard is useless if there is no point of sale all over the world. So stablecoin has been around. What was missing was the banking adoption. The enablement for stablecoin to move fluidly from on-chain to fiat transfers. And I don't think that concept was new, but there was a timing happening. And I do think the timing was perfect the last few years, and we've been always saying that. I think it was always insane to us that we had to explain to regulator that I don't think with stablecoin there is a risk of monitoring where the asset comes from. Because actually stablecoin or crypto is the most monitorable asset. I think it's even more monitorable than bank transfers. Because you see from the day it has been created or minted, you see every transfer and you can say confidently where these points are at. So we kind of knew that at some point the regulators will understand it can be regulated, it can be compliant. And then you had, I guess, Europe was one of the first regulators to come up with a plan or instruction, which was the MiCA framework. And then, so I think my point there is that the regulatory clarity and the change in the US, I would say, sentiment towards at least stablecoins or crypto made that adoption happen, that suddenly everyone felt more comfortable working with, let's say crypto or stablecoin related payments. And before there was no clarity, so it was a bit unclear. There were some smaller payment institutions taking a risk, but they were taking a massive risk because the regulator was still not very clear on what their stand. So I think that really changed the last 2 years.
So that's really like the context. And if I get further down to the project and what you have built for the Ledger Wallet users, we see, as you said, that there was something a bit broken that you were trying to resolve, which is this idea that how do I bring money, how do I bring value from fiat into a wallet for really like wallet customers. So there's a product that's called a cash stablecoin account, as we name it on the wallet. And maybe you want to describe a little bit more specifically what it is doing for a self-custodian wallet user.
Yeah, so in very simple terms, Ledger is kind of your bank account, right? Because you hold your money there. But what was missing for that bank account to become full circle was to be able to instruct payments, basically using your on-chain assets to then transfer to bank transfers. So have that connection with the bank, and then also being able to send money to your bank account, to your Ledger created bank account, and receive on-chain assets. So what we have solved there with you guys as partners is the ability to issue bank accounts on behalf of your users, so they can seamlessly move money from banks or cash to on-chain assets in form of stablecoins, and also move it out as they need. So it basically broadens the use case as how a Ledger wallet or Ledger Live app can be used.
So the experience for a user that wants to top up their wallet coming from fiat, or that wants to receive fiat and get it available on their wallet. So the wallet that they secure with their Ledger device, they will come to you, they will register, they will get a bank account number, and each time money is received on this bank account number, this will be turned into stablecoin directly into the wallet of the user. Is this correct?
Exactly. So that's it. And then you can use it for payroll. Like you can pay your payroll into Ledger, which is quite exciting, because if you think about, there's a growing number of Ledger users who believe Ledger is more safe than having money in the bank account. There is, let's say you want to pay someone, you can do it from the Ledger Live. There's a lot of use cases. I'm sure you know many more as you are closer to users, but there is a tons of use cases that can be used as a result of having a bank account connected to Ledger.
So we've seen for years that if you want to top up your account on an exchange, you come with fiat and you open a fiat account on the exchange. And then you will start trading, you'll start potentially speculating as describing, or you potentially access more use cases. But it seems like wallets are extremely well positioned to enable these payments use case and the variety of possibilities you were mentioning. So the cash to stable account is probably the equivalent solution of what people will find on traditional exchanges, but adapted to wallet and self-custody. Would you say this is correct?
I would say it's not to a certain degree, it's accurate, as you can move banks' money to crypto and opposite. But given that we consider ourselves a payments company, or we consider this a payments use case, there is a bit more feature enablement that you can basically receive money from other people, and you can send money to other people. In normal exchange use cases is that you can only send money to yourself and back to yourself, because the exchange assumes you are just funding the exchange to exchange fiat to any crypto and get back. So that's like the only use case they focus on. We are focusing on the payment use case of stablecoins, which is that not only do you want to put your own money, but also you want to be able to pay other people. You want to pay maybe to your bank account from someone else, like your payroll provider. So that basically broadens the use case.
So to rephrase, so everybody I think hears that, because I think it's super exciting from a user perspective. Not only you have an easy way to top up your wallet and get stablecoin directly that you can use to invest, to get yield, to swap, to do everything you want, or to pay yourself. So that's the base. But on top of that, it's also money you can receive from elsewhere, from everybody in the financial ecosystem who's paying in fiat. So the connectivity with the fiat world, let's say, becomes complete through bank rails. And what is the advantage of having a bank number in terms of conversion, in terms of acceptance, in terms of reliability? Why is it a bank number? It's not like a card, or it's not something like this?
Yeah. So bank numbers are much cheaper If you cards is possible, but given that this is a payment use case, people don't make payments based on their cards. Cars are expensive. So you have to pay a high number of fees, which is fine when you're purchasing something. But when it comes to payments, some people want to make larger transactions, and it will cost them a lot. And they want to make payments, and they want to have a relatively cost-effective payment rate, the way they would get a cost-effective rate with TransferWise. So that's the expectation. And banks are safer, faster, especially in Europe. You have SEPA, which is pretty much instant. So we have users depositing money from a bank to on-chain in little as 20 seconds, and it's pretty powerful. It's the magic moment of stablecoins.
So the cost is minimal to the end user.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a bit of network fees, like always in crypto.
Yes.
But I think we managed through also a promotional activity to keep it to like a 1-for-1 at the moment between USD and USDC at the moment.
Yes.
So that's, I think, very interesting for everyone because the hidden costs that are traditional in the financial ecosystem just disappear in that case. And in terms of conversion, people can expect really to have finally a reliable way to top up their wallet and to buy crypto.
Exactly. Buy crypto, make payments, have Ledger Live as their main bank account, which is super exciting. I'm sure there's a lot of users who prefer that. But yeah. And I think the most exciting story here is that for the first time, we see wallets becoming really full neobanks.
And is it for everyone? I mean, is it for advanced users? Is it for new users? How is it different depending on the profile of the user?
I would say, I guess, knowing your customer base. I assume your customer base.
But we hope you're one of them.
I assume your customer base is crypto native people who understand crypto really well. Who believe in security. They have these like crypto ethos, which is ownership of your own assets, security, hold your keys. So I believe your users are quite experienced and sometimes more paranoid than other users, which is good. So these users are transacting larger amounts, I think so. So your users are crypto native, but we also have other customers we serve that pretty much abstract away that there is a wallet. They abstract that away. So it's almost like a neobank. So it really depends. I guess everyone has a different user base they're serving, but I think what is really happening is that future neobanks, the likes of the ones Revolut or Monzo, are starting off by building crypto wallets in conjunction with something like our infrastructure. I don't know if you see that, but I think that's basically the trend we're seeing. So everyone is moving towards the neobank use case, including you as well, as you are basically building more functionality around your users.
Yeah, no, I think it's and maybe it's a good moment to talk a little bit about what the Ledger Wallet is about, because you were asking about the type of customers. I think we have different type of customers. What they have in common is, first, indeed, they see the interest in using a wallet. And if you use a wallet, it's because you want to have choice. It's because you want to access all the potential of what is available in decentralized finance. It's because you want to be able to send, to receive. So there's something very dynamic about the wallet that is a concrete use case of crypto, and not just betting on the future of crypto. You can also manage your portfolio. You can trade. You can invest. You can do a lot of things. But it's really something concrete where you get the power yourself. The second thing they have in common is that they understand that in today's world, trusting what you see on the screen of your phone or trusting what you see on the screen of your computer just doesn't work, because you can get hacked, or the website, the protocol, whoever is on the other side also can get hacked. So they are using the Ledger signers with now their large screens. We just announced Nano Gen 5, that is yet another device with a large screen.
It's an amazing product.
As a trusted display. So this is the only really a secure screen run by a secure element where you see the truth of what you're doing. And I think you were mentioning like the the expectations of people. I think this is expectation of something trusted and where you import. So that said, we have different type of users. I think indeed there's historical users. Ledger has been in the market for 11 years. So of course, the early adopters are there, but we've also got new joiners who believe in this value of controlling their destiny with security by checking information that is genuine information. So that's, I think, a very powerful tool associated with the payment infrastructure that you're powering together with stablecoins. And
Exactly.
to ask a little bit more about that, in the construct of this, there is a complexity around like what I would call compliance engineering. So how do you do the magic?
I guess the magic here is really the combining the compliance of crypto and fiat, right? So you have to understand both sides. I guess the fiat has been around for a while, so there is a lot of tooling around. The regulators want to know where the money comes from. Are these people sanctioned? So we do all of those checks, and the same thing happens with the crypto. So we combine both of that. We have built, I would say, experience over the last 2-3 years, where we have optimized our processors, our compliance procedures. Banks have tested this. It has always worked. It has, very limited number of fraud rates. Like we are very, very good on that. So I would say it's a combination of a lot of experience, but also being in the industry and also look, most of our team are engineers. So we are an engineering first company. Like we have, it's not even a joke. We have 1.5 salespeople. And still we're, as you know, we're quite big out there. Most of our team, like 35 plus, are engineering. So there's a lot of engineering challenges we solve. And the good thing about crypto is, I mean, as you know, the data is very structured. So as the data is very structured, you can build a lot of tooling and a lot of solutions to control and understand behavioral patterns. So it's just, I would say, it's an engineering challenge. It's an engineering challenge. As an engineering first company, that was obviously not that difficult for us to solve.
So it's by the way a global solution. What is the coverage today of the solution in terms of continents or in terms of countries?
Yeah, so this is a good question. I need to check, but we obviously have done the legal work here and have licenses around the world, and we can serve most of the countries. Of course, all the usual sanctions countries we don't serve, all the usual high risk countries we don't serve. So we have a very conservative
but you're global by definition, and already today, most users, wherever they are, they will be able to access the service.
Exactly.
Okay, that's really difficult, and congratulations for that.
Crypto is global, right? And users are global, and we have to be global. But yeah, it has taken us 3 years to build that. So it's been quite of a journey. Yeah.
And so we were saying you're serving all type of customers, and with this association between the Ledger wallet and Noah and your service, I think you're serving everybody who really cares about digital ownership and this kind of freedom associated to it. But beyond that, is it also useful for beyond individuals? It's also useful and used by small business, or do you expect more customers of that nature to come to you?
I would really. If I want to make an analogy here for the people who are listening, imagine the telecom industry. They used to have these private networks. So if you wanted to make a phone call from Brazil to India, there was the phone call would get relayed to AT&T in the US, and then AT&T would send it to maybe UK. Let's say, I don't know, British Telecom. British Telecom would send it to India. And along all these points, there would be fees taken or delays, or just, everyone has to take the cut, and et cetera, et cetera. But then the voice over IP came, with the likes of Skype. So you had India connecting to the internet and sending calls to Brazil. And I would really imagine this same thing happening with payments right now with stablecoins. We have all these local payment methods around the world. PIX, which is in Brazil, SEPA, which is so there are all these instant payment methods. Instead of doing payments going through SWIFT, which is going through multiple banks who have these corresponding banking structures. We just directly take on from a local payment SEPA to stablecoin, and the stablecoin is basically the voice over IP. You can go anywhere. Asset can be transferred anywhere, and then get connected to another rail. Does that make sense? I
So
assume,
for you, that's
a lot of listeners, yeah.
that's the future of stablecoin is to create this kind of directly interconnected infrastructure for value transfer, for payments around the world. That's what you're looking for with that.
That's basically what's happening. I think that's why everyone is so excited, because the challenge was, how do we move value effectively cross borders and have a settlement system that works? So, and stablecoin is the best settlement system, and I think we are able now to connect any bank account, local payment methods, ACH, wire, be it FedNow, to stablecoins, be it SEPA. So that's quite exciting, and I think that's where the people are seeing the benefit now. They are able to set. So let me make you this example. Let's say, Jean-François, I'm in El Salvador, somewhere in a town, like on a Sunday, okay? And I say, Jean-François, I'm really stuck here. I need to. Let's say I have let's say I have I need money, okay? So Jean-François, you're able to right now from Europe send me a SEPA payment that sends me stablecoin on a Sunday, and I have value in another country quickly that I can make a payment. You could not do that with any traditional payment rail. How do you help someone who right now is somewhere and needs money right now? You can't, because most international transfer will take days, and this is goes into seconds.
No, that's very accurate, because on the screen of my Ledger device, I can check if it's your address, because that did sound a little scammy what you told me. Like, I need help, send me money. But
I know.
My Ledger at hand, I can check it's really you, and I'm sending to your address. So I think it's a very good example of the power of clear signing. And indeed, I think it is what people see when they experience it. But even within like Western Europe or US, where things sound so easy, just moving money is really one of the basics of the economy. And can be really hard for people. So we are talking about cross-border, but even at the scale of a single country, moving money, paying, engaging in economy activities is difficult. And I think what you describe is a very important use case for crypto. But tracing back to what you said earlier, the interoperability with the fiat ecosystem is essential, because for most people, certainly people listening today that have 100% of their economic interaction in crypto. And that's great. It must be nice to be a freelance living on the beach in Thailand and being paid in crypto. But it's not the case for every single user. So people have the majority of their economic interaction in fiat. And it was either or until now. So either you are within the crypto ecosystem and you do everything in crypto and everything is fine. And the problem was, as you were saying, relatively easily resolved. But the fundamental issue is that it's not enough. For people, it's probably like 20-25% of their economic interaction, and you were leaving like the 75% on the side. So if I understand well, this is what you're bringing with Noah, is saying, okay, now I can take advantage of a stablecoin ecosystem for 100% of my economic interactions in a way.
Exactly. And I also, for a lot of people around the world, with stablecoin, they can hold dollar-denominated currency, which is a big thing. Everyone thinks in dollars right now, or also euro coins are also popular. But these are currencies that are probably better for most people than their local currency, which has mostly a higher inflation rate.
And so, what is your prediction, if there's a prediction, like how far does it go? So the stable is the rails. I think there's interoperability, like fiat on one side, stable, fiat on the other side. So will this frontier evolve? Where does it go? Where does it stop?
So I think the interesting intersection is that let's say fintech and crypto is becoming one. It will be one product going forward. So it's not going to be crypto company or fintech. A lot of this high growth fintech companies will be having so it's the same thing that now every company is a software company. At some point that idea was not new. It was like, oh, we are now a software enabled company, but now it's like, so I think a lot of fintech companies will have a strong component on crypto. I think a stablecoin payment is the first step. We will see RWAs. Like, you will be able to sell any assets that people have in the US or Europe to the rest of the world. So it will bring a massive unlock to the rest of the world. It will make the economy. It will make it will make a lot of the places around the world much better off. RWAs, we have tokenized stocks people are talking about. So I would say a lot of the assets they're talking about are able to go on chain, as we have solved the banking problem, or are about to solve the banking problem, which allows you to move easily from money to on chain, and that's already pretty big. So a lot of these people, a lot of the around the world, people have, and I know that from data because I see a lot of the neobanks that are built on stablecoin growing much faster than anything they've ever seen before, because it's leapfrogging. They never had anything like that. Suddenly they have it. Like, it's not like, okay, so Revolut, amazing company, but they had to compete with HSBC, Lloyds, and all these big companies. So they had to build amazing product until they could get to a lot of users. But now you have people who build offer financial applications. Even Ledger is technically now a financial application because we offer the that now suddenly people around the world can use that as their bank, and there is no banking infrastructure, or like limited banking infrastructure.
I think what
So
is
I think
what is interesting with wallets is this kind of idea that you take care of yourself. So it's really like Ledger is not doing things. We are not running services ourselves, but we are really empowering people. So there is, I think, this logic of having a wallet, which is very powerful and certainly something that is enabled by crypto. And you were saying it a little bit earlier. I think there are two paths. There's a path where there's a lot of abstraction and you don't really know what is inside. And probably stable can become an infrastructure for this world, but you're not really conscious. You don't touch really your stable. You don't even like totally own it, because every centralized player, your money is not your money, it's their money. I think it's still applicable in the world of crypto. When it's centralized, we say not your keys, not your coin, but the reality is this one. Is if you trust someone with custody, should it be a bank or an exchange, it's not directly your value. And there will be people who want to touch it, I think, really to own it and to understand what's inside and own that stable coin really truly.
Exactly. So again, as you mentioned, if with Ledger people own their own money, but I think the experience is so good that it's almost like as if you would use a normal bank account, So
it's the use case you were mentioning. So we can say that in the world of today already, that this interconnection in terms of economic interaction, stablecoin is becoming like the operating system for the world's economy. So we started from the question: is it for consumers? Is it for enterprise? Is it for small business? You seem to say it's for everyone.
Yeah, it's the I would say pretty much the operating system of how money moves, and not only between people. I do believe also organizations will soon move their accounting towards a stablecoin based accounting, because this concept reconciliation only exists in the banking world, because money sometimes needs to be reconciled because they send the money but it's not arrived yet. When you send the money on stablecoin, it always moves very fast. So you will not see only between people money moving, but also internally organization adopting to a stablecoin based accounting, or basically the way they take unit of accounts, because it just moves more fluidly between their entities and across the different borders.
Okay, and what do you think a wallet specifically is empowering in terms of future use cases? The fact of hopefully, I think our audience understands that a wallet needs to be secure, and if it doesn't come with a separate secure screen, it's not a good wallet. But what does it bring to customers? The fact of using you in complement with a wallet.
I think a wallet is just so easy to set up. Like, okay, so in basics, a wallet is a public-private key, right? It's like whoever is interested can go and look into it, but like it's a function, right? It's a function in engineering that you use, and so a wallet is extremely easy to set up. It's like almost like a public good. Everyone has it. It's like having a PDF of some article. So the on and off ramp is hard to solve, right? And we have solved that. Now you have the wallet where you hold your money that everyone can do. Everyone can have a bank account basically, and then you interact with Noah when you need to move your money from on-chain, which is safe in your control, to the banking world or to the off-chain world to make payments, to make certain things, and then stay on your wallet. So basically, we just enable you to rely on us when you need it, but you don't have to. And you can stay safe on the wallet. You can have your money there. It's very easy to download it. It's very easy to set it up. There's like hundreds of wallets, thousands of wallets, and they're all for free. Does that make sense? It's like almost like a democratization of banking, or like holding money digitally.
That makes total sense. And is there anything else you would like to add, and some advice, some part of your experience that you want to share with people listening today that can really help them live this full financial life?
Yeah, I think it seems that the future of the world is crypto, and it's a lot of people are more increasingly saving a lot of their money into crypto-based assets, and a lot of people have done extremely well by being smart, by investing in Bitcoin early, holding Bitcoin, or even if you're in emerging markets, holding dollar stablecoin is still better. So just money is a concept that most people haven't thought about deeply. Often we just use whatever we have in our own jurisdiction or like in your own country. But this is now changing as more people are actively thinking about what kind of money can they access. Bitcoin can be money for them, all these different currencies. But just be very smart about it. Like use the top best assets, put money away, save money in real assets. Real assets for me are like non-inflationary or like limited inflationary assets. Because most of the people around the world, they are not asset poor because they're not working hard. They're mostly asset poor because they have not invested their hard labor into real world assets. And I think crypto is for the first time leveling the playing field, and we as Noah are enabling you to get easy access from any fiat to that, and just to choose that very wisely. Don't speculate too much, just do the basics, and and I think most people will be able to. Again, it's not financial advice, obviously, but that's like what I've learned is that it really enables people, and soon we tokenize stocks and tokenized deposits, money market funds. Everyone around the world will be able to access the best assets that people in the US would have. So choose that really wisely and think about it, and then you will be able to live a much more comfortable life if you are smart about it. But of course, don't take any risk or anything that is So you have to just be careful. Like you have to be very well read before you act.
Well, thank you, Shah, for this vision. I think it's super exciting. Thank you for participating. Thank you to all your team that has been magic
so
at
excited working with you guys,
developing
looking forward to
new products,
deepening the partnership.
Thank you very much. So for people listening, if you want to try Noah within the Ledger Wallet app, get to the Ledger Wallet app, you click on Receive, you choose via bank account, you register with Noah, and you can try this wonderful service that should change your life as a user of a wallet. Get a Ledger Signer, the new models with a large screen. Life will also be better. Thank you, Shah. Thank you to all of us
Thank you so much
for listening today. It was live from the 106, the Ledger HQ. We thank you all, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.